What's
Awesome.
up, sons? It's Blind Ride with Son of a Tech once again, and joining me today is Johnny with the Soulless Citadel project. He's going to give us an overview of what the project is. It isn't other than, obviously, it is an NFT project, and a little bit about why they chose the platform that they did, and then we'll be announcing a giveaway at the end. So, Johnny, welcome on today. Thanks for joining me. Give us the kind of overview of what the Soulless Citadel is, what its current form is, what your future plans are, and that sort of thing.
Hi. So first of all, thank you for inviting me so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Yes, my project is the Soulless Citadel. I'm actually not one of the founders, but I'm the community manager. But the Soulless Citadel basically is a story-driven project. So we had this whole story that we came up with, and our main characters, our NFTs, are actually the story parts. So we crafted the story of the Soulless Citadel, which are basically these warriors living in Solarnia, a place that we created, and they are having a battle. Like, to sum it up short, they're having a battle with like the dark side, if you want. Every story has the good side and the bad side, and the battle unfolds. And while they are taking the win, the dark side is actually cursing them to purgatory, to the Soulless Citadel. So this is the story how the Lightwalker clan, these like elitist warriors who have trained their whole life for battle, are cast into purgatory and become a part of the Soulless Citadel. So this is the point where we started from, chapter 1. And we minted these NFTs, 5,555, on the Ziliqa blockchain. And right now we're moving on to chapter 2, while we're also putting out a game. So chapter 2 is all about the rise of the women warriors, because now all the men have been cast into purgatory, but the dark side is obviously still around. So now the women are stepping up and taking the plate and are carrying the fight out. So that's where we are at right now. And at the same time, we're also putting out a strategy game, which is called War for Solarnia.
War for Solarnia. And where does the name Solarnia for that come from?
That's a good question. So actually, most stories are just a story from the beginning to the end. But our founder just took it a step further and thought that he'd actually create a world around it. Just not just the story that takes place, but also where it takes place, why, and stuff like that. So we created this whole world and just called one part of it Solarnia, which is kind of like an attribute to our blockchain Ziliqa, and just kind of mixed in a nice name.
So that brings up two questions. First, I was going to ask, where can we access the story itself and that sort of thing to get caught up?
Okay, so you can actually read chapter 1 and also chapter 2 on our website, soullesscitadel.com, which is also the only entry you will really ever need into our ecosystem, because we thought we'd do it all ourselves, so it's most easy for our customers or for our community. And so you can actually access our website for the whole story. You will also be able to buy and trade any Soulless of any chapters there at some point. It's about out, I think, in the next couple of weeks, without telling you too much. But yeah, we have our own marketplace there. The whole story, pretty much everything you will ever need, is on our own website.
Cool. So I'm going to kind of start and kind of drill down, but we'll start at the very top. What made you guys decide to go with NFTs instead of some other traditional release of this project or product?
So the two founders of us are two filmmakers who have been working together for about, I think, 15 or 20 years, James Fazio and Elliot Gray. And they, are just the most pure artists I've ever met. They're like these people, they just want to craft something. They just want to build and draw and stuff like that. So it was a pretty easy decision for them to just, I think James, the first thing that he ever did was actually draw something. And then in the process of drawing it, he was like, oh, I like the look of these guys, they are soulless. And then the whole story started to unfold for him.
Mm-hmm.
But, the question, why did we go for NFTs, was never really a question, because it was obvious to them as they were like, crafting the art. And that's the best medium right now.
It's just from a monetary standpoint, it's best to monetize, or are there other aspects to that when you say the best? I assume with chapter 1s and chapter 2, that could have been put into like a graphic novel form, or into like just a physical media of some sort, like a comic book or whatever. Is that just a lot more difficult with production and all of that? And so NFTs just more advantageous there?
That goes a little bit into detail of what NFTs can bring to the filmmaking spectrum.
Okay.
Because no, I can totally answer the question. Because with filmmaking right now, you have the problem with you always need like this middleman. If you're a person who created a story, you always have to have someone who pays for your production, for your everything. But with NFTs, you can kind of dodge that zone or dodge that middleman. And NFTs actually allow the filmmaker themselves to actually go ahead and start developing the film and doing the screenwriting, and then actually going through the whole process of making a film. So it's actually bringing a lot of power to us, the filmmakers and the creators, that we were able to go with the NFTs.
Okay, awesome. So, I mean, right along the lines of the principles of crypto, going back to, the inception of the Bitcoin white paper and removing the need for third parties, whether that be, a producer or a bank or a government or whatever else, right? It's still kind of along that same line. So that's really neat. You say movies. So is there a movie planned as well?
Yeah, exactly. That's actually our coolest news that we have put out in like the last month, that we have partnered with 2 screenwriters from Hollywood, Janet and Lee Batchelor, who worked on the first Batman Forever movie, like pretty long time ago. They're like this really cute couple, and they've been writing films together for like forever. And we've now brought them to us to write the screenplay with us, which we are then trying to turn into either a full-blown anime or like an anime movie, but something along those lines. This is not clearly decided yet, but the screenplay is being written, so we're getting there.
Okay, cool. So now I'm going to get a little bit more technical, because obviously with NFT marketplaces, there's a ton of different marketplaces. There's a ton of different blockchains, and the chain you guys decided to go with was Ziliqa. What was the reasoning behind that decision?
On the one hand, we just have to say it was a bit of an emotional decision. So all of the people that were involved in the start of the project were pretty much on Ziliqa like a longer time before. So they've actually started to get to know the environment, and they enjoy it. So Ziliqa actually brought with us its perks and its cons, obviously, because it's one of the lower blockchains. It's not that well known. So we obviously have to fight a lot harder as an NFT project to get well known and get the same kind of attention that you used to get like on Solana in the brink of a day or something.
Right.
But at the same time, Ziliqa is also super helpful to us as artists on their blockchain. So they are supporting us a lot. And at the same time, they are also, I gotta say, I'm not a technical person, but they are also a pretty good blockchain. Like, they are really cheap, they are really fast, and they are just a very nice environment to create on.
Cool. Give me 1 second here. Sorry, we had a wild Pokemon appear. All right. All right. So as far as so the benefits, if I understand correct, is that you have a much closer connection with the developers of Ziliqa, which provides additional support when standing it up, and then a little bit of an emotional tie with the history with that particular blockchain. What did that history? What is that history comprised of? Was there developers that were just more comfortable with that chain that got onto the project, or was it an investment thing where they already invested? A little bit of both. What was the catalyst there in detail?
So the decision maker in this case was our founder James, and I know from his perspective that he was on, like, he used to be an artist, obviously an NFT artist, for also I think like half a year or a year before that, and he was doing NFTs on Ethereum, but running into the typical Ethereum projects that you run into. And so he started, to dig a bit into the other blockchains who were a bit cheaper and a bit more scalable. And he just happened to stumble upon Ziliqa relatively early. And I think then, if you would put it like it was an investment thing, so you got in a little bit earlier, so you got to know it. And then another thing that I have to mention is our community is absolute bonkers. It's not like in terms of numbers, it can't hold up obviously to like Solana or Ethereum, because there are just not that many people there. But the engagement that you get is actually incredible. So they are also a huge factor of why we love staying on the Ziliqa blockchain.
Cool. So a little bit more about the game. Is there a release timeline for that yet, or is that yet to be announced? And then give us, you said strategy. Is that going to be a turn-based game? What are the platforms and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, so there's no exact release date yet, although we are planning on to release it in the next quarter. And so the way it's going to work is we have not released too much, but I'm going to stir around the pot a bit. So it's going to be a tactic like turn-based game, and you are going to build your own team using the NFTs from us, like the chapter 1 or the chapter 2.
Right.
And then you will also be able to, like, the exact game dynamics are not official yet, but you will also be able to bet on your own games. And you will also be able to like kind of lend your souls out to let other people take place in the game as well, and not only soulless holders. So we thought of a concept, that is not only focused on the NFT market itself, but can actually be a cool, fun game that people can.
So it'd be like a party system where you can rent somebody to come fight in your party type thing. Is that the idea?
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty close.
Cool. All right. Well, I heard about you guys because I guess a little while ago, somebody just sent me one of y'all's NFTs. I don't remember if it was y'all or if it was somebody else. And then you guys sent me 2 more NFTs, one that I get to keep. So full disclaimer there. And then one that we're doing a giveaway on my locals channel. And that's going to be at sonofatech.locals.com. So thank you guys for donating that. That will be for sponsors only on locals.com. I've been looking for other ways to, I guess, boost the locals page so that you guys have some sort of added bonus to being a member over there. The membership is free, of course, though, as always on locals. So I want to thank you guys for that. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Are there any other details that you can think of maybe that I missed, or any other additional comments?
I think we covered our story pretty good. Maybe like a small comment right now, if you want to check us out, I would suggest hitting up our Twitter.
Yeah.
But our secondary marketplace, as ours is not like live right now, would be right now zilswap.io. That's like the only thing in my mind. Okay,
so to actually purchase the NFTs, not the minting process, but for the marketplace, that's going to be on ZilSwap, correct? And I'll have all those links down in the description below if you guys are interested. And then you can follow them at the Soulless Citadel on Twitter, which we'll get a link down in the description for that as well. And then what was the website again? It's soulesscitadel.com. Okay. Yeah. I always, you never know if it's going to be .io or something.
Yeah, it's so many these days.
Or .zil. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't think, does ZIL have domains yet, or ENS?
Yeah, they actually have domains.
Okay.
Unstoppable Domains, I think, is the provider.
Is the provider with ZIL. Yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. Well, then I learned something new there too. I'm really into your project. I think it's super cool. I do like the art. I didn't know that it was going to be a movie, so that was something new that I learned. I kind of had heard about the game a little bit, and then the 2 chapters, so everybody can go get into the lore and discover all of that there. Did you have an idea on platforms though? I didn't hear the answer to that. Like, is it going to be mobile? Is it going to be like just browser based?
Oh, I saw that the game is also planned to take place on our website.
Okay.
But in terms of devices, I have no, I don't really know. I would have to ask our developers, to be honest.
Okay. So it's going to be web based though, more than likely.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Definitely. All right. Perfect. Well, thanks for coming on. Johnny, and I will get all those links down. Once again, just let everybody know where they can find you, and we'll wrap it up.
Awesome. Thank you very much for inviting me. It was a blast.
Yes, sir. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to go ahead and check out more videos here, or of course, subscribe. For additional content that also goes into more opinionated pieces surrounding the politics around crypto, make sure you check out sonofatech.locals.com. There you can become a member for free, or even choose to support for basically additional content at $5 a month. It's helping me stay alive through the crypto winter.